Hey folks, welcome back to the Murray Homestead, and today we're doing a lighting upgrade on my shop. Alright, so today we're going to be doing a lighting upgrade on my shop. This is primarily a wood shop. I've also got a CNC router I just got that we'll be doing a video on later. And I'm very, very lucky to have this shop. I like it a lot. But there's 3 or 4 really bright LED lights right in the middle. And depending on how the camera is picking up the exposure and everything, it might seem really bright in here, and it is pretty bright. The problem I'm having though is I do a lot of joinery and more like precision type woodwork, or I'm working just with little things in general. And the shadows that these lights cast are really hard. If my wife can kind of get in here, give you a good example. So if I'm just trying to draw a line on this board, right there is like pitch black. And then because the lights are so bright, it doesn't really give your eyes a chance to adjust. So your eyes, your pupils are all teeny tiny because you got this bright light, beaming down on you. And when you try to get down in here and, mark a line, the shadows are really, really intense. So I want to add some more lighting. The best way I can figure, this is a metal building. And if any of y'all have shops, I'm sure y'all be able to relate. I can't just drill into a stud like you would on like a wood frame, like a stick frame construction. And there's no such thing as 16 on center in a building like this. So the best way I figured to do it is these little support braces are high enough. And there's enough of them where I'm going to mount these lights that I'll show you here in a minute to a 2x4. And then just bolt the 2x4 to those support braces. It should be way more than strong enough for what we're doing here. And then my idea is that we're going to kind of triangulate. So I'll have some light coming from that side, and from the center. So hopefully the light will kind of blend together and eliminate a lot of the shadows and just brighten the whole thing up, which is good because we'll be doing a bunch of videos in here. All right, so the lights I'm going to be using today are, of course, off of Amazon, and I'll have them listed in the description below. I have 4 in my other outbuilding, and they are shockingly nice for the price. I got a pack of 12 of these, and if you can see, they're about 4 feet long, dual tube, and they're 40 watts, and that's 40 LED watts, so they're pretty dang bright. Supposedly they're 4,500 lumens. And these are Sunco LED shop light, and they do have a frosted lens, which is really nice. LEDs put out a whole lot of light from a very tiny source. That's why fluorescent lighting is so nice, because the entire tube, the phosphors in there literally glow, and so you get really, really nice even light distribution. With LEDs, a lot of times, if my wife can kind of poke up there a little bit, you can see the individual diodes, and they put out really harsh light, but they're really, really efficient. So these having the frosted lenses is really nice because you don't see the individual little diodes in there. Alrighty, another cool thing about these lights is that they are linkable up to 4 in a row. So they just have a plain AC outlet plug, but here on the end, there's a female. And so you can plug 4 of them into each other and just use one outlet. And because they're only 40 watts, that's totally fine. They individually have an on-off switch. I'm hanging 8 in this shop, and I'm not going to turn on and off 8 lights at a time. So I'll show you a cool little remote feature separate about those. And then according to the specifications, they're suitable for damp locations. This shop is climate controlled. For the most part, it's got spray foam. But if you're in just a normal metal building that isn't insulated, that's really important. And then they come with a various amount of hardware. So it has little chains and hooks so you can hang it, and then also screws and anchors so that you can mount them to something. And that's what I'm using here, except for I'm not going to use anchors because I'm drilling into 1.5 inches of solid pine. All right, let me show y'all how I'm going to fix the lights to the 2x4, and then I'll throw it up on the wall. All right, so I'm going to measure the distance outside to outside on these little braces here. All right, so these are 62 inches apart outside to outside. All right, so we got 62 inches, and I'm basically gonna center this 2x4 between those two. It's an 8-foot 2x4. So I will do 48 inches. What's that for 62? 31. So I'll measure 31. 31. And then those are about 2 inches wide. So I'll just make a arbitrary mark there. And there. All right, to mount these to those support braces, I'm using some 1/4x20 bolts. You buy these by the pound at hardware store. Nothing special. I'm using a 9/32 bit for the bolt to actually go through. And then because I'm putting these lights on top, I want the head of the bolt recessed. So I'm going to use a 3/4 inch Forstner bit to make a nice little pocket for these to go down in. All right, I got the holes drilled, so the bolt will go there through. Now I'm going to make a nice little pocket. Just deep enough so that bolt head will sit flush. It's magic. Alright, so I've got the holes drilled in this 2x4 that'll let me mount it to the angle braces. So now I'm just going to use the Phillips little screws that came with these lights. And because the plug is here on this side, it'll plug into this female. And that way I only need one plug actually going to the outlet itself. Okay. All right, so we know that one fits on there, but it's still pretty loosey-goosey. So I'll tighten these up just a bit because I want the lights to be pretty snug up on there. You all know how much I love Phillips head screws, especially really quality ones that come with little kits. Sarcasm. Okay, that's a little tight. All right, so I don't strip anything out. I'm just gonna do the fine tuning with a Phillips screwdriver. Try that again. Okay, that's pretty good. I'll tighten this one just a little bit more. All right, that's pretty well secured. I'm gonna get this second light secured. And as you see, there's just enough room for this plug to fit in there, which is really, really nice. Alrighty, make sure that these fit like a glove. And then I'll tighten these down ever so slightly. There's some more. You probably clipped a good portion of this up. Alrighty, so these come with a little zip tie on just for shipping reasons or whatever. I'm going to go ahead and just leave it like that. Plug this in like so. And that's what it'll look like. So you see the lights are nice and secured up there. So now I just got to get this 2x4 with the lights on it installed up there. And Oops, there's a wall there, a door there. I want to make sure that this is in the on position. And then I just have this one plug that'll hang down. And I'll show you how I get it to the power outlet and how I'm going to turn these on and off here in just a minute. All right, so I'm going to drill a 9/32 hole in the support beam. And I'm going to have it about in the center. These lights have a 120-degree output of light. So I'm hoping I'll get a nice little reflection off the foam and then a good amount of light coming down here. All right, so you can see I bolted that 2x4 up there, and I've already got the Phillips head that holds these lights on installed. So now I'll let you put the lights back on here. Okay, that's pretty secure. If my wife can hand me light number 2, please. You can do this by yourself, but it's always nice to have a second set of hands. And I've got 12-foot walls in here, by the way, so that definitely adds a small layer of complexity. Just do the height. Go and plug that guy in there, like so. And it's not really not necessary, but I'll throw a zip tie up here just to kind of clean that up a little bit. And there you go, you've got some hung lights. And like I said, I've just got this one plug hanging off the side. So I did went to good old Wally World, and I got these really cheap little 16 gauge extension cords. They're 12 feet. I think they're what, $2 a piece, $3 a piece. These are the cheapest extension cords that you can buy, and usually I do not buy cheap extension cords, but each one of these is going to be a whopping 80 watts. So that's not a lot at all. Alrighty, I've got one set installed, so this is it's gonna be 2 out of 8 that I'm gonna have installed. And to show you all the difference, bang. It's quite a bit brighter with just the 2. So I'll have 6 more in here. I'll just show you all the final product, and I'll show you all how I use these little remote on-off switches that lets me turn these on and off. The baby is angry. So I'll see you all here in a minute. All right, folks, here we go. Boom. Much, much, much better. And that's just the new lights that I installed. So now when we turn on the original shop lights, boom, hugely brighter. So y'all already saw me do that one. I did the exact same thing over there. When I bought this property, there was a wall here, so I just cut it out. And then you can see section number 3 and section number 4. And the entire shop is significantly brighter. I like it. I'll find the price and put it in the description of the lights. I think for 8 of them, I bought a 12-pack. I got 4 in the other building. Excuse me, but for 8, I want to say it's like $70 or something. I used 4 2x4s at about $3.50 a piece. And then this little remote thing, I absolutely love these. And the way I wired it up is I just connected these 2 lights and these 2 lights together on one of those cheap little power cords. And same thing over here, and each one has its own remote. So we'll have many more videos coming out in here now. I did the lights partially for y'all in the videoing, and a lot for me, to be perfectly honest. It's a lot safer and just a lot more usable in here now. So if you have any comments or questions, please put them down below. Please subscribe. I think we looked it up. I think it's 0.1% of the people that watch the video subscribe. We're trying to get to 500 really bad here. That's the goal. And hit the stupid bell because there will be a whole bunch more videos coming out in the shop. I'm going to be cleaning up over the next few days and getting this thing production ready. Thank y'all for stopping by. See y'all next time.